5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, and 1.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Red Door Conversations. I am Tiana Young, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce my lovely co-hosts. We have Lisa White, Kimberly Dixon Dudley, and Mala Lewis. Guys,
Hello,
today we're going to
y'all.
be discussing moving during COVID-19 and everything that you need to know. We have Brooklyn, New York real estate expert Janine Aquafrida and
Hello.
Ashley Bureau Johnson of Houston Property Cleaners, sharing everything that you need to know during your planning, if you're planning to move during COVID-19. So, ladies, before we go ahead and kick off our show, we're going to talk about we're going to go ahead and bring in our juicy red hot topic. And we're going to be discussing
This is a good one.
Black Restaurant Week. Woo! I want to hear this one because you all know I'm always hungry.
Well, Tana, you're not alone. Hey, you are not alone. My weight going up and down is a constant. It's been a lifelong battle. So I'm right there.
The struggle is real.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So yes, we are smack dab in the middle of Black Restaurant Week. And it is going from July the 14th through July the 19th here in Houston. And we're celebrating the 5-year anniversary, the 5th year. I held up two hands. I'm sorry, but this is the 5-year anniversary for Black Restaurant Week. And it actually is not just happening here in Houston, guys. It's actually happening all around. Let me find it for you. It's happening all around the
country.
US, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so there it is. I'm trying to get back to it.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just Houston. So thanks for sharing that.
No. We are, here it is. So,
got it?
Yes. So right now, I said July 14th, but July 10th through the 19th, it was here in Houston. So it'll be here through Sunday. And from Houston, it's going to the Midwest. Now, if you go to the website, it is blackrestaurantweeks.com. You will be able to find all of the restaurants that are participating in this. And so it is a plethora of them. So just go to the website and take a look and support. That's what we want you to do most of all. We want you to support. Anybody else want to comment on Black Restaurant Week?
Well, we were talking about before the show started where we were going in Houston. And so somebody mentioned some black bean nachos from Sunshine's Vegetarian Restaurant on Old Spanish Trail in the Medical Center. Plug there for our friends over at Sunshine. We're going to be having that for dinner.
Oh, that is correct. That is absolutely correct, Kim. And so just if you know anybody in these areas, so next week is going to be in the Midwest. August the 7th through the 16th is going to be in Los Angeles, California. After that, they go to the Bay Area, September 4th through September 13th. All of our Atlanta GA people. Washington, D.C. is September 18th through the 27th. And then we go to New Orleans. I wish I could be in New Orleans.
I might have to use my flying benefits and go to each and every state.
Do you need a companion, Tana?
I was just about to say, I'm down.
Sure, absolutely. Come on, let's go.
I will meet you in New Orleans.
So yes, it lasts through December 13th. They're gonna finish it in Alabama, December 4th through December 13th. So guys, let's find a black restaurant that we can go and support because the food, I know, is going to be delicious.
Awesome.
No doubt.
Can't wait.
Now,
Cannot wait.
The next thing that we want to talk about during our hot topic is something that's new to the scene. and it's called the Black Box. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of the Black Box, but the Black Box was founded by Dr. Simone Ellis, who is a dentist in the Missouri City area here in Houston, Texas, and her brother, Seth Ellis. Seth was the one that actually had the idea, and he shared it with Simone, and she was all in, all in. Before I get into the details of it, I want you guys to video. Can you press play, Kim?
Sure. Can y'all see that?
Absolutely.
Ah,
If you can, you make it a
Sorry.
little bigger.
yes.
All right.
Black Box is the first ever Black-owned subscription box where each month you get a Black-owned product, a different one to help support other Black-owned businesses.
We saw there was a need in our community to expose more people, and especially our Black community, to Black-owned businesses and Black-owned companies and Black-owned products. And so I had an idea and I brought it to my sister Simone, and her eyes lit up.
It was a really good idea.
And so in turn, that became the Black Box. The process of building the boxes is usually we're sitting down, as a family.
We actually have to spend time curating what's going to go into
Yeah.
the box. That's an important step where we're vetting companies, we're getting exposure to these companies, we're reaching out to them, we're getting samples, because we want to make sure in the box we're giving you a quality product. If you're going to subscribe to this box, we want to make sure that you're getting a big bang for your buck.
We had a plethora of things from apparel to accessories to food-related items to skincare.
We try to make it a whole thought out process where you get a whole entire box that's going to make that process fun. And it's a gift, right? So every time you open a box, we want you to feel like you're getting a brand new gift.
Making sure our packaging is good and of quality, and then it's getting it over to the customers for them to love and enjoy. For businesses to sign on, they would just go to our website and go to our contact section. The subscription box does a fantastic job at giving people access to these items and saying,
Okay. So yes, that's giving you in-depth information about the Black Box, guys. I am super excited about this.
Yes.
Because, I mean,
And Lisa, I'm looking at the monthly subscriptions aren't bad. It starts at $34 per month and goes up to $207.
correct. So you
So
have
that's-
1 month
yeah.
subscription, you have 3 month subscription, which is $104.99. And then, as Tana said, you have that 6 month subscription, which is $207.99. So I actually went on to try to subscribe. And to be honest with you guys, I wanted to try to give it a try for 1 month, and it's a waiting list for it. So
Wow.
yes.
I'm on
yes.
the website right now.
So it's www.blkboxstore.com if you guys are interested in that.
Very cool. You know what? We're all real estate professionals, and the first thing that came to mind was moving gift. Like if someone's moving and we're talking about moving during COVID right now, that is a
Right.
perfect moving gift. The realtors are listening. For the right buyers, right sellers, right renters.
Right.
Perfect idea.
Absolutely.
Perfect
Absolutely.
idea. So jumping into our topic of moving.
Right.
We are experiencing, we're right smack dab in the middle of a global pandemic. Everybody knows this. And the interesting thing is that Houston, Texas has now become a global hotspot. So
We've become New York.
we've become New York. And
Sure have.
We have freezer trucks at this very moment. I was talking on the phone with a friend last night, and she said, Tiana, please be careful, because we're thinking about going to Galveston this weekend. And she told me that yesterday when she was going to work, she saw the freezer trucks on the Hottie Toll. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, but it is. It really is.
yeah.
Okay.
And you know what, and it was when we started talking about doing this show, I was thinking, we really need to get the perspective of people who lived through this already.
That's it.
Yes. And I am we've already kind of said hello to Janine. Janine is a Brooklyn, New York real estate powerhouse. And
Absolutely.
I want to read her and share her bio and a little bit about her background, but I thought it was important for us to just wrap our minds around what it takes to get through, this urgent issue right now, and especially in real estate. I think I read somewhere like 9 million people have moved during COVID-19. I mean, it seems scary to think of, and that's our profession, but you know, we got to keep going forward. And so it's important for us to get the perspective of people who lived through it successfully and navigated that process for their clients successfully. So welcome, Janine.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, let me give y'all a little bit of background. And Janine, if I missed something, you let me know, but I think it's important that we share who you are and why your perspective is interesting for this conversation. So Janine was a financial advisor for 10 years and then entered the real estate world in 2007, right?
Yep.
Okay. Janine is associate. I'm going to read this so I don't miss anything. Janine is an associate real estate broker and former teacher at the Real Estate Education Center in New York City. She has 2 degrees, one in media and one in journalism, and has enjoyed success as an actress, a singer, and a writer. But currently, what I thought was interesting is that she is the author of the widely popular Facebook page, Brooklyn Real Estate, and has appeared on several episodes of HGTV's House Hunters. Janine founded Realtors for Rescues in 2012. It's a nonprofit that aims to educate other real estate professionals about the importance of getting landlords to say yes to pets. And y'all know that's near and dear to my heart. Anybody who knows me knows that's important. But I thought was interesting is that the project is actually involved into finding homes for animals displaced by relocation and landlord issues. And so the way that I even contacted or met Janine was that I was reading a Fortune magazine article, and she was listed as one of the real estate experts in that op-ed. They were talking about moving during COVID. And I went on to read her bio. You know, you contributed things to the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, other financial and real estate websites. And so, you know, it's important for us because we're all real estate professionals to represent from a very knowledgeable standpoint. And so we want to welcome you to the show, welcome your viewpoint, your expertise. But most importantly, now that we are a national hotspot for this epidemic right now, we need to kind of get in your head. Like, how did you guys help navigate the process of moving for buyers, sellers, and renters in New York City?
Okay, so number one, you know, when we spoke, I was the hotspot. Literally, I think when we were on the phone speaking a few months ago, there were ambulances whizzing by me. It was so noisy. I could barely have our conversation. I was sitting in my car just to get out of the house. I think number one is just staying calm, because it is so scary to be, you know, the number one place to this crazy disease, this crazy virus that really nobody, even the doctors, know anything about. So first and foremost, stay calm. You have to not only figure out how to conduct your business through this, you have to figure out how to survive through this, because nobody really knows what's going on right now. Nobody. So, you know, for me, it was like, okay, Janine, you have to stay safe. You have to stay alive. You have to stay healthy. Whatever you have to do that, you have to do. And not just physically healthy, mentally healthy, because, you know, realtors, we're used to being out and about and engaging with buyers and lenders and attorneys and sellers. And we are social people by nature. You know, for me to be, I was in my apartment, my tiny New York City apartment, for 2 months. Didn't leave once. So from March 4th until May 4th, I had never left my apartment.
Wow.
That took a toll. I ended up in the ER on May 4th because I was having essentially a stress reaction. My blood pressure was 169/90 when it's normally 110/70. Oh, wow. My pulse rate resting pulse rate was 135. And I'm a marathoner. I'm a healthy young lady. And I was, you know, my mind was killing my body. So you have to stay calm, because if you're not healthy and you're not, you know, sane, and you're not put together, you can't help anybody. The pressure was 169/90 when it's normally 110/70.
Somebody's Facebook is on.
Resting pulse rate was 135. Okay, that was weird.
Yeah.
Everything about 2020 is weird. So
right.
We have to remain calm. And then, you know, and very quickly,
we've got to adapt, right? So you guys are in the hotspot, and right now it's very scary. You want to survive this. You don't want to leave your house. You don't want to do really anything, right? Because you don't want to get sick. But listen, we have bills to pay. We have people to help. There are people. When this started, I had to do a closing remotely. I had a domestic violence situation. I had a couple that the young lady was moving into her own apartment to get away from an abusive situation. We had to close and we had to get her out. And that was it. There was no, oh, Janine, I don't want to get sick. No, it was like, you still have to live and you still have a fiduciary responsibility to get your business done. And so we've got to adapt very quickly. And it was a matter of how to approach business with a heart. You know, I'm very, I don't want to say I'm cold, but I'm very fast paced, right? So I'm always, I guess I could come off as like curt and abrupt. This is just my
like a New Yorker, maybe?
Yeah, that's every New Yorker, right?
Okay.
That's
So
it.
when you're dealing with something like this, you have to find.
You have to be quick on your feet.
You got to be quick on your feet, and you have to understand very quickly how other people may be reacting to this. And you have to find all the empathy that you can to connect with them. They are scared to move, even though they have to move. They're scared to go to closings. They're scared to, maybe go out and look for homes, even though they have to. For whatever reason, they're being displaced. They're relocating. I've got a lot of people relocating to New York during the pandemic. And you've just got to really be extra patient. Oh,
now,
yes.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I thought a lot of people were leaving New York because of COVID-19.
500,000 people left in 2 months.
Oh, wow.
In New York City. Whether that was permanent or temporary, I don't blame them, because it's very hard to socially distance in the city. It's impossible. I mean, if you open your window and the neighbor upstairs or next to you opens their window, you're only 2 feet apart.
Right.
You're breathing the same air. So 500,000 people just left, up and left. But I had a lot of doctors coming into town, a lot of nurses on contract work, a lot of people who had graduated residency that now needed to be here. So there was a lot of.
Where did you guys put them, Janine?
Well, we put them, I put somebody in an apartment in a private house in Brooklyn. I put somebody in an apartment building in Brooklyn. I put somebody in an apartment in Manhattan, a purchase. We're putting, it's equal rental, equal sales. The sales that we conducted were not sales of people who wanted to get out because of COVID. In fact, nobody wanted to put their house on the market or their apartment on the market. Who wants to move during this? You don't want realtors in your house. You don't want moving companies in your house. You don't want to go out and look for your next property.
Right.
So were you 100% virtual for the 2 months that you say that you didn't leave the house? Were you 100% virtual?
100% virtual. Now, when we got—
Did you find that challenging?
Oh, yeah. I had to go on Amazon. I had to get myself equipment to be able, you see I don't know if you see it in my eyeballs, I have a ring light so that I have proper lighting.
I think Amazon sales were like at an all-time high during COVID. Yeah.
I'm contributing.
From being a billionaire to a trillionaire.
He did.
The owner of Amazon.
He did. Bezos.
Wow.
I tried not to order through Amazon because I believe, in supporting my local businesses and, anyway, there's only, so you got to do what you have to do. And I had to get up, virtually do all of this. I had, copying machine. I had to.
You got to roll with the changes.
You really do. And sometimes that means going against what you really want to do for the time being. Like, I really do like to support small business and local business. But yeah, I had to support my clients at that moment.
Now, did y'all change any? I'm sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
I was just going to ask, do you have a team that you work with, or are you a one-woman show?
I'm a one-woman show.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
My God. Okay.
Did y'all change any guidelines? Like, here we have these amendments that our association produced for us for people accessing properties that sellers could have people sign. And, you know, right now I keep seeing a lot of people saying that they're limiting showings to like 15 minutes at a time.
Mhm.
You know, shoe covers, you know, take the
Okay.
shoes off
Gloves.
for entering, that type of stuff.
So we were not able to physically show homes until phase 2, which just happened June 27th, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
People were buying sight unseen then.
Oh yeah, we were selling and renting. Well, no, realtors weren't allowed in the properties, but people were. Buyers and renters and sellers and tenants. Yeah. So
That's different.
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so realtors were not allowed to be there. And actually, we weren't even allowed to facilitate the meeting of the sellers and the buyers or the landlords with the tenants.
Oh,
They
nice.
said,
So
our
you guys,
association said, give the buyers or the tenants' phone numbers to the landlords or the owners.
so you guys were not considered
Wow.
essential workers.
Now, okay. Initially,
Wow.
initially, we were considered non-essential. And that lasted about 36 hours because every realtor, 80,000 real estate agents in New York, flooded the unemployment line.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
So 36 hours after they deemed us non-essential, they deemed us essential with restrictions. And
I
so we
bet
were
they
able
did.
to sell homes, but we couldn't show homes.
That's really risky, though,
wow.
don't you think? To
Yeah,
have
giving
just
client
that's
direct
really
access.
You know, yes, it is. And my business really nosedived because I was not comfortable doing that with certain people. First of all, I've got a lot of elderly owners, property owners, and I'm not just sending any old Tom, Dick, and Harry to their house.
exactly.
That's just not happening. So in situations where I did feel comfortable, it was, I need your lender's phone number. I need a copy of your driver's license, which started some other things, right? Because if you're going to ask for somebody's ID, you better give them a fair housing disclosure before you do that.
Good point.
Yep.
Good point.
So
Absolutely.
again, you really have
Wow.
to keep moving forward, but at the same time, take a step back and say, where can I, as a professional, get in trouble here?
Yes.
I have a quick question because I'm also a realtor. I had dealings with the clients that were saying, please, can you do FaceTime? Can you do tours? I'm scared to leave the home. So how did that, you know, as a realtor, I was like, I'm willing to go into, a vacant home and do a video, which to me would be a safer situation than sending,
Multiple
two strangers to meet. So how did your clients feel about them being the ones that had to go and actually see the home and in whatever, medical situation they were in?
So it was mixed. Believe it or not, you have a lot more buyers that are thinking they're getting a deal during the pandemic that are willing to risk their health than you do sellers who are going to, so we were allowed to do virtual tours, by the way. We were allowed to go into properties as long as our property owner was not there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we were allowed to do that. However, what I found was 100% of the people who I did that for did not buy or rent.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I experienced that.
100%.
Wow.
Okay, so here's my question now. You guys are in phase what now? What phase is New York in
We're
right
in
now?
phase 3.
Yeah, I would say
And,
probably
and,
3.
and, and what is phase 3? What does that consist of?
Phase 3 consists of you can show a home with restrictions, same as phase 1. However, we can be inside the home with buyers and with buyers' agents, as long as we have masks or face coverings covering the mouth and the nose. We have, we maintain 6 feet social distancing. We limit 2 people per showing. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and we have to have all the COVID disclosures signed prior to.
Okay.
From the seller, from the, or the landlord. So
To the
from the
buyer.
seller and buyer, or from the landlord and tenant, as well as the agents that are participating in the viewing.
So are you guys able to host live open houses now? Or is
We
that
are.
still, okay, great.
We are. limiting, of course, to 2 people per appointment at a time, maintaining social distancing. I have chosen not to do open houses.
Okay.
I think that, you know, I'm not a fan of open houses to begin with. I'm just not, for many reasons, but I think it's very unnecessary. And yeah, I think that housing is essential. Real estate professionals are essential, but I think a lot of the activities that we do are not. And I think open houses is one of them, not now.
I agree.
Especially during COVID, because you get so many people trying to come in and look at the house all together. I think that increases their risk of getting, you know, COVID-19. And I have a buyer right now who's looking at, you know, at homes, and we were told that we cannot schedule individual showings, that we have to wait until Saturday for the open house. And honestly, I was pretty ticked off about that, because I don't want to be around, you know, a group of people looking at a house.
Yeah, it's very hard to control the personal protection equipment ends of things when you have a group. You know, I mean, I'm with 2 people at a time, and I'd say, hey, lift your mask. Hey, don't touch anything. If you don't want to come with gloves, I do all the touching. If you don't, you know, how do you make sure everyone's got booties on or takes their shoes off when you have groups? I think by appointment is the way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, you know, that's one. We have another young lady on the show that I am so excited to have, because she can talk to us a little bit about that cleaning part. She can talk to us and give us some suggestions. She knows what it's all about, because she is also a real estate agent. And I'll read you her bio just a little bit, because I found it very, very interesting that she is still a real estate agent, but she is also the founder of Houston Property Cleaners. Her name is Ashley Burrow Johnson, and she's a mother of 3, the CEO of Houston Property Cleaners. And as the rest of us, we braced for the COVID-19 impact, Ashley evaluated the situation, got her clients' feedback, and she leaped into action, establishing her company. Ashley, thanks for being on, along with Kristen Williams you brought with you today. How are you?
Thank you. We're good.
Good. So in servicing your real estate clients, you found an opportunity to address some of the concerns. What were some of the concerns that they had during COVID-19 as far as the properties and viewing them?
I'll start from the beginning. Prior to COVID, as a real estate agent, I would always find myself in a situation where we were turning over a lease house, and I would have a valid client, and people that maybe had just got into renting their home and not necessarily really understanding what a landlord means would always contact me as a realtor and say, hey, do you have anybody that can clean, or can get the house ready, or can turnkey? Maybe they were out of state, they were out of city, or just didn't have time to deal with it. So I actually saw a need prior to COVID.
Okay.
But when COVID happened, I am a fairly new real estate agent. I saw that the business was becoming a little harder for me as a new agent. And again, I have 3 children, and I have twins that are 6 years old. That at that point I was terrified to send anywhere, because I just didn't know what was going to happen. And so I felt like I needed to jump into a situation where I could possibly work a lot of my business from home, as well as still be able to support my family. And that's how Houston Property Cleaners was developed. And I noticed that buyers, sellers, and renters always wanted to request a specific cleaning during moving, which is a deep clean.
Mm-hmm.
As a landlord, you are supposed to clean your property prior to you having a new tenant, but that is at your opinion or discretion, is how deep you want to clean that property. Mm-hmm. As long as the property is deemed livable in the state of Texas, a property can be rented out. But once COVID happened, everybody kept calling and said, hey, I want to move into this home, but I'm scared. What can I do? And I always recommend a deep clean, which is you are going in and you're cleaning the surfaces of everything, the knobs, the light switches, the, everything that people touch on a regular basis, that you're going in and you're deep cleaning the baseboards. And then that's when I got with my friend, my college friend, Kristen Williams. She's been in the hotel industry for over 10 years. And she said, Ashley, you have to turn a property and make a client feel like when they walk in that house that nobody lived there before they got there. And that's how you feel kind of when you walk into a hotel room. Although you know that hotel room is turned, you don't want any sign that anybody has lived there prior to that. And that's what I deemed and created my company on. I want you to walk into a home and say, God, was anyone here before me? Because everything is clean.
So
That's
Ashley,
really important. Yes, ma'am.
Ashley, tell us, is there such thing as COVID cleaning? And what specific things do you do different now that we're in a pandemic?
Okay. There is a difference in cleaning and there's a difference in disinfecting. And some people feel like if I disinfect, I'm good. No. You have to clean first and then you have to disinfect your property. Okay. As far as the COVID cleaning is concerned, it's not really required for homes. What they are saying when they're saying COVID-19 certified cleaning, you're looking at daycares, restaurants, hospitals, anything with a high volume, because what they're doing is called an electrostatic technology, which I don't know if y'all seen the commercials of the gym, and they have like this vaporizer that they're going through and they're touching, you know, all of the equipment and they're disinfecting the equipment on a regular basis. It's a positively charged germicide that it sticks to surfaces and continues to kill germs after it has been cleaned for 24 hours. So that is something you would need in our small businesses where you have a crowd of people. You definitely want them to come in and do something like that every morning, and therefore the germs and the surfaces are being when the germs touch the surfaces, the viruses are being cleaned for 24 hours.
The main thing people want to understand, COVID cleaning is basically recleaning the surface that people continuously touch. So just like in these small businesses, if you don't have the means to do something that major, just like in the hospitality industry, we pride on making sure every time you touch that coffee, is somebody coming behind you and wiping it up. You just have to do this in your home. You need to do this in your daily routine. Now it's becoming the norm. It's what we do in the hospitality industry, but now we're taking it to your personal level and in major businesses that never thought of that before.
And then the certification that you get also teaches you how to protect yourself. And because these companies are being hired for people that may have had COVID, positive COVID people in their home that have either passed away or have been there a long amount of time while they were trying to heal. Then you want to come in and you want to have a certified service. But the certification is really teaching how to clean that type of service and keep it clean, as well as protecting yourself.
Now, who is that certification? Who is that certification available to? Anyone, or
it is available to anyone? It's pretty pricey, but I would say personally, you should, if you want to invest in something like that, whoever your client is somebody that has repeat physical people service on a regular basis. Otherwise,
so Ashley, do you recommend anyone who's had COVID-19 to have a company such as yourself go in and do a clean and sanitize?
I definitely believe that you can get a cleaning company to do a deep clean. And that's all you need. That's because you're not having repeat people touch it. So all you're doing is, let's move you out. You hire a company like mine or something like mine, and we go in and we're doing all the surfaces, from the baseboards to the knobs to the light switches, everything.
So what is something like that? What is something like that cost?
Well, right now, my company is particularly running a special, which is $125 for the first 3 hours and $50 after that. It depends on the square footage of the home. Of course, depending on the bedrooms, the bathrooms, it varies to that quote. Of course, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, or 1.5 bath, you probably could get done in those 3 hours. But we definitely go in and we're wiping baseboard. I mean, we are literally wiping any surface that you may have touched.
So you get down to the nitty gritty of it.
Oh, we get down to the nitty gritty. I mean, I've taken light switches off and soaked them. I've taken air duct vents off, soaked them.
Yeah, she's good.
Yes. With me being a general manager within the hospitality industry, we have to be in it. I mean, I need to make sure that everything you do and everything you see is to the T. So it helped with her, me knowing that with her cleaning business.
So Ashley, someone who is just a regular homeowner or a renter, someone who is cleaning their house on a daily and then spraying it down with Lysol, is that not good enough?
It is good enough if you don't have a lot of traffic. I always recommend a deep clean at least once or twice, once or twice every 2 months, especially if you have kids, if you have pets, because you don't realize how many viruses live on surfaces.
Right.
As simple as your delivery guy touching your doorbell. You know what I'm saying? I get outside doorknobs, outside doorbells. Like you're not thinking, because of course we're used to a regular world. We can all kind of touch everything and we don't realize, as simple as somebody saying, "Can I use your restroom?" Touching your light, touching your faucet, touching your toilet handle. You know what I'm saying? Things like that you're not thinking of on a regular basis.
Really, like with us, our dirtiest thing in the hospitality industry is the remote. People don't realize what you're doing. You're eating, you're snacking, you're talking, you're moving the kids. It's on the floor. It's everywhere. That is the most dirtiest thing in your household, is the remote and your light switches. And that's something we don't think.
The remote
I'm sure if we had a microscope, we could really see all the little nastiness.
Janine, do you have any questions for Ashley and Kristen?
I don't. I'm loving what you're saying, because I am also an Airbnb investor.
Oh,
So
Okay.
I had to learn very quickly about everything that they're talking about, and they are spot on. I mean, we had to go through our own cleaning training, and they've hit every nail on the head.
So our company has, the first deep clean and then the repeat general clean for residents. We have a specialization for move outs and move ins, where we get everything. It's called a get your deposit back, where we go through everything possible that we can clean to help you get that process. And then we also have a department for Airbnbs and corporate living for repeat service, because of course my friend Kristen has taught me a lot. And so I call it a hotel style cleaning, where you are going in and you're wiping the remote down and you're doing this like that. But a lot of questions that we get is, how can I prepare my home during COVID to reduce, potential spread? And, I always say, before you clean, you put your gloves on, you're using your disinfectant, you're using certain products that are helping you. But there is one thing that I love, and I just want to share this really, really quick. If anybody is okay with using bleach, and I know, Tana, you said you may be going to Galveston soon. 5 tablespoons of unexpired bleach. A lot of people buy bleach and you leave it in a cabinet, and then you forget it's there. And then you think a year later you can come back and use it and it's going to be as effective. There is a date on bleach that you need to pay attention to. So this is very important. 5 tablespoons of unexpired bleach per gallon of room temperature water. You get you a spray bottle,
Keep that with
and
you.
you keep that with you. If you're going to a hotel, if you're going to an Airbnb, if you're going grandma's house.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
grandma don't have time to clean all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And you keep that labeled in your home. That is the most basic disinfectant that kills 99.9% of your germs. And you almost, I'm serious. Doorknobs, light switches, those faucets are the most used things in a home. I keep that spray bottle even if I'm going out of town. I'm spraying as I walk in the door, Tana. You get those light switches.
Let me tell you something. Look, when I go to a hotel, I take that remote because I know that it has a lot of germs on it. I get that little ice bucket plastic. I put that sucker right in there.
Yeah,
that's what I use.
Yes, very, very, very important.
Very good information, ladies. Thank you all so much for joining us today. And we were happy to have you. I want them to know how to contact Houston Property Cleaners, because we have buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords needing that service right now.
Okay, you can book now with our number 281-889-1198. You can call us anytime for a consultation. Unfortunately, our website is under construction. It will be up and running soon. But if you'd like just a quote or to just talk to me about different cleaning tips, or to book with us, you can also go through houstonpropertycleaners@gmail.com, as well as we have IG, Houston Property Cleaners, Facebook, Houston Property Cleaners, Twitter, Houston Property Cleaners, and LinkedIn.
All right. That's good. You got them all covered.
Yes. And so anyone in the Houston area that may be sitting at home not figuring out, especially how it was like a single mother, we are also hiring cleaning specialists that will be trained. I would love to hear your story. I understand that it's very hard right now, and you may just need some side work, and we are willing to help. We need you. So give
Love
us
it.
a call.
Thank you, ladies, so much. And
Thank
to
you so
Janine
much.
Aquafreda from New York, thank you so much for being on Red Door Conversations. We thank all of you ladies for your great information on today's show. And everybody, our viewers, listeners, thanks so much for watching today. And don't forget to go to our social media, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Red Door Conversations. And thank you so much again. And we will see you guys on the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.